I was just wrapping up my review of the 12mm f1.4 DC lens when this beast landed on my desk. Sigma's R&D is on a roll right now. It feels like one innovation after another, and this one is big. The Sigma 135mm f1.4 Art, another world's first. Just look at that massive opening. Yet somehow Sigma kept the size and weight in check. I only had 4 days to shoot with it and get this review done, just in time for launch day. So let's dive in. Available for Sony E-mount and L-mount. External controls include focus mode switch and 2 AFL buttons. Aperture ring with click and lock functions. Minimum focus distance 1.1 meters. Dust and splash resistant design. Water and oil repellent front element. 13 blade rounded diaphragm. Removable Arca Swiss compatible tripod collar. Lens hood with a locking mechanism. Built with the DNA of Sigma's art line. .135mm focal length is the perfect blend of compression and character. Few focal lengths flatter a subject this well. Until now, no autofocus full-frame 135mm has gone as wide as f1.4. The usual choices have been Sigma's 135mm f1.8 Art, Sony's 135mm f1.8 G Master, Samyang's 135mm f1.8 AF, or Viltrox's 135mm f1.8. With this release, Sigma delivers the first ever autofocus 135mm f1.4, a true milestone for this focal length. Specs are one thing, performance is another. Let's take a look. From center to corner, this lens easily out-resolves a 33-megapixel sensor, sharp, detailed, and contrasty. Honestly, lenses like this make you wonder if it's time to see a 100-megapixel sensor just to push them harder. The only real limitation comes past f11, where diffraction starts to creep in. There is a clear amount of pincushion distortion. Not extreme, but definitely visible. For portraits, it can actually work in your favor by making subjects appear a touch slimmer. Vignetting is also present wide open at f1.4, but it gradually improves and is largely gone by 5.6. Point the lens into a strong light source and you will see some flare. But it's well controlled even without the hood. I didn't run into problems in everyday use. Contrast holds up, highlights stay clean, and overall it performs reliably against bright light. At f1.4, longitudinal chromatic aberration is practically invisible. Only noticeable if you really pixel peep, and by f2 it's gone. Lateral chromatic aberration is essentially non-existent, No matter how hard you try to provoke it, control here is excellent. The standout here is the sheer scale of the bokeh, delivering a new level of background separation with strong compression. The rendering stays clean, no distracting textures in the bokeh balls, and the 13-blade rounded diaphragm keeps highlights nicely circular even when stopping down. Minimum focus distance is 1.1 meters, giving you a maximum magnification of 1 to 6.9. Wide open, it's reasonably sharp, but stop it down to around f4 and the fine detail really comes alive. Autofocus is powered by Sigma's dual HLA system, two high-response linear motors driving separate focus groups in a floating configuration. Sigma claims 0.3 seconds autofocus lock, on par with their 70 to 200 f2.8 sports. In my use, it feels just as quick, sometimes even a bit over-eager. This lens shows noticeable focus breathing. You will see a clear field of view shift when racking focus. For video shooters, especially if smooth focus pulls are part of the shot, it's something you will want to keep in mind. There's no optical stabilization built into the lens, but with in-body image stabilization, it's not a deal breaker. On a modern camera body, IBIS handles this focal length surprisingly well, making handheld shooting manageable even at lower shutter speeds. We have reached a point where modern lens design feel a bit predictable. Razor sharp, relying on in-camera corrections with the usual pincushion distortion in telephotos and barrel distortion under 35mm. Up until now, I thought the Sigma 85mm f1.4 DN was their sharpest portrait lens, but this new Sigma 135mm f1.4 really shifts the benchmark.